Hello, everybody. Today is day 30 of your 30-day to sobriety solution. I am so proud of you. You have come so far and you're doing so well. I love you. I know you can do even better. And I am just in awe of you. I have enjoyed making these courses, pulling them together out of this book. And I hope to do more because I just feel like there's a lot of meaning behind this and people are giving me good feedback. One of the things I'm always trying to stick with you guys with um, is really sticking to your goals. And, I am a master motivator, and that means that I can motivate you to do almost anything in this world if you want to. If you want to do it, if you have the drive, I can get you there. But I'm telling you, if you're having trouble sticking sometimes to these goals, especially with stopping drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, anything like that, uh, which comes first, this lady says, Stephanie Lewis on Facebook, having the right mindset or being consistent? Now, I keep telling you guys, motivation will get you so far, okay? Because one day you're motivated and the next you're not. But discipline, that is doing it in spite of your mood, in spite of anything. It's become a habit and you just do it. It's like brushing your teeth. So here's what Stephanie says, and it really made sense to me so much that I just have to say it at the top of this class. Mindset gets all the hype. We hear it everywhere. You have to change your mindset to change your life. But what actually is mindset? And she goes on, mindset is the internal framework, how you view challenges, your belief in your capacity to change, and the assumption you hold about effort, failure, and growth. It's shaped over time by experience, habit, and reinforcement. It's powerful, no doubt, but it's also slippery because when you're struggling, it's hard to just shift your mindset. When someone says, hey, loosen up, be funny, blah, blah, you want to smack them, right? So when you are struggling, it's just hard to shift your mindset on command. That's where, and her word is, I like to use discipline, but she's using consistency. Okay, so write this down, folks. Get your notes out. Get your journals out, okay? Consistency is simply the repeated action, doing the same thing over and over, whether you feel like it or not. And it's like brushing your teeth, taking a walk, choosing protein, doing 5 minutes of breath work. It's a habit of acting in alignment with your goals. So it's being in alignment with your goals, okay? Even when your brain is fully on board. So here's the question I've been sitting with. Does the mindset create consistency, or does consistency create the mindset? The research leans in one direction. Consistency builds the mindset, not the other way around, just like discipline. In 2012, study published in Health Psychology, researchers found that people who repeated small, consistent behaviors, related to exercise and healthy eating, reported a shift in identity and mindset after just 2 weeks. Their beliefs about themselves changed as a result of their actions, not the other way around. So people, this is about action. Getting up and doing what you don't want to do to have what you want to have. So another study in Personality and Social Psychology review in 2014 showed that acting as if you believe something, like I am someone who follows through, triggers your brain circuits associated with actual belief and identity. In short, you don't wait for the mindset to arrive. You install it by doing. And what are you doing? You are listening to the steps every day. That's what you're doing. You are listening and you are taking notes. That creates the mindset. So yes, consistently creates mindset. This is why so many people fail to reach their goals. They wait to feel motivated. They wait until the mindset shift kicks in. But motivation is fleeting. It is fleeting. Mindset doesn't show up until your action makes it work. Okay? So action. If you're trying to rebuild your health, especially if you're dealing with chronic pain, inflammation, or years of start effort, the key to stop chasing the mindset, this is about addiction too, start chasing the reps. Reps build belief. Reps install identity. Reps are the mindset. So if today is hard and you feel like you're just going through the motions, good. That's exactly where the shift begins. Do these things. Do your steps even when you're bored and don't want to. That's the best time to do them, when you're in a terrible mood and want to use. Sit down first and do your steps. What's the one small thing you can do today, even for 2 minutes, that proves you're becoming who you want to be? Okay, I'm going to squat. Yes, I learned about squatting, and Dr. Cindy's going to squat today. Maybe not for 2 minutes because I've worked my way up to 30 seconds, but I read on squatting and I like what it does for your legs. So that's how you get it into a habit. They said when you squat at first, it really hurts your legs, really hurts your knees after a few minutes. You wouldn't think it does, but it just really, really hurts. So listen to Dr. Cindy, because this stuff works, and it's as simple as doing the same thing every day. Thank you, Stephanie Lewis. You are a genius. Just a genius, okay? So we got all these studies. This is why people fail. If you're trying to rebuild, we got that part. So today, let the action lead the way. Your mindset will catch up every time. Make your butt sit down and do these steps when you don't want to. That's how you create a clean mind. Consistency and discipline, motivation. I love it. And I hoped you loved it as much as I did, because I woke up this morning and I don't think I've even sat down since, because I put myself into this little habit, this little consistency, this little mindset. And before you know it, I was busy doing all this stuff because I'm moving this week. And who wants to move? Yay, nobody. And there were blocks I was having, but I just got myself out there, and I got my car jumped, and I got my door open, and I got myself moved. And then I went over to my daughter's and wanted to cry a million tears for all the cats that moved in her place. Oh my Lord, that's another story. I'm giving her treatments, people. I'm giving her as best I can. But that's what I'm telling you. Life is about consistency, and we're never, ever done. You get one ending. With my boyfriend passing recently, as you know, you've listened to my studies, and you get a new beginning, and here it is, this big mess over at my daughter's. But you know what? I can do this. I can do this, and you can do this, and we can all do our lives with consistency. So I bet you this helped. I know it did. And now we're at day 30. We're wrapping up the 30-day sobriety solution. If I haven't done 29 because I can't remember, I'll do it next. So you'll get both of these. Day 30, congratulations. We know the level of commitment it takes to complete this program. More importantly, we applaud your willingness to get out of your comfort zone, abstaining from drinking and using drugs, and working through emotionally challenging exercise, getting through all the various solutions and resources. As you work through these challenges, it's likely you found yourself in unfamiliar territory at times. In those moments, you had two choices: to resort to your familiar coping mechanism of using and drinking, or embracing your discomfort, knowing it is living on the edge of your comfort zone that facilitates the greatest growth and progress toward thriving in sobriety and thriving in life. People, don't get me going. I'm like a Baptist preacher when I get going, because I have had to go through my boyfriend passing away a week ago. Or was it about 2 weeks now? And anyways, I've had to keep on keeping on. I've had to keep doing these sessions. I've had to keep getting ready to move. I've had to pack up 100 years worth of stuff between his stuff and my stuff. I've had little to no help. And I'm tired, and grieving, and not wanting to do this stuff. But people, you have to get up and suit up and show up for your life. And if I don't get up and suit up and show up for this, life will just pass me by. And I'll just be another senior wringing my hands in my little apartment saying what life did to me. But I am a creator. I am a person for new beginnings. And I believe I can have the most awesome life I've ever had. But I had to get up today and do things I did not want to do, to have the life that I really want. And I hope you all listen to me. Before you started this, you had unknowingly put in place numerous self-imposed limits, specifically limits on your ability to successfully cut back or quit drinking and thrive in sobriety. Today, it is likely you have freed yourself from those limiting from those limits. You have broken your past conditioning and opened up a whole new world of opportunity. How much success, happiness, and fulfillment you experience beyond this program is up to you. People, you create everything. You think all these people did this to you. When you go to sleep at night, you're the villain too. Okay, you're everything in life. So when you wake up, don't start saying, they caused me to drink. You are causing all of this. You are the creator. You're not a victim that's sitting there every day getting messed over. You're creating it all. If I could just keep telling you that. You can choose to slowly let your old conditioning take back over, or you can choose to continue down this path of personal development beyond the 30 days by applying what you've learned. People, if you get through this and you can do this successfully, this will be the best therapy that you ever had. It may be the only therapy that you've ever had. It will be all that you will need to keep yourself nice and clean, okay? Can you become a normal user? We believe anything's possible, at least within reason. There's no question that some people can go from being an alcoholic to the converted take it or leave it attitude of a normal drinker. And there are numerous studies that validate this fact. But that doesn't mean we recommend it. And in fact, most of you, we don't. We say abstinence because that's the best thing for most people. Troubles, your need to overdo, okay, from psychological PTSD, all kinds of limiting beliefs, got you into this mess. So in the beginning, just quit drinking. Okay, don't toy around with it. Lastly, we want to remind you that you are using the definition of sobriety, moderation in or abstinence from consumption of alcohol or use of drugs. When we say sobriety, we do not necessarily mean abstinence only. Are you set off on a path of attempting controlled social drinking in the way I saw other people do it? I studied them, and for a while my life consisted of going up to the windmill of lunch and having one or two lagers, and then in the evening maybe a glass of wine with dinner or a scotch after eating. The reality was, as much as I may have been trying to establish some kind of a normal day like others, what really amounted to was these two drinking sessions with me desperately trying to kill the time in between them, often by sleeping all through the afternoon. This schedule was purely alcoholic in its development and focus, and our life just crumbled as a result. And that was from good old Eric Clapton. How many musicians have had drinking problems? Honestly, ask yourself the following question. What do you really want when you think about using or drinking? What are the first thoughts that enter your mind? Do you still think about getting drunk? Who comes to mind when you think about drinking? Do you have issues with alcohol? What future events do you think about when you consider using again? What are these occasions? Where would you usually drink a lot? One of the greatest challenges of transitioning from being a problem drinker to someone who has a healthy relationship with alcohol. Most people don't, okay? The idea of having one or two drinks is a foreign concept, and in the past you would have thought you were depriving yourself. So many of our clients share how annoying it is when they could only have a couple of drinks for the entire night. In fact, most considered it such an annoyance that they wouldn't even bother drinking at all. Does drinking one or two drinks make you feel like you are making a sacrifice? If the answer is yes, then we can virtually guarantee you will not be successful at cutting back. A true take it or leave it attitude means it doesn't matter to you. Like you will just drink a glass of wine because everybody's having wine for a toast or something like that, and it doesn't affect you to crave more. Okay, if you find that the question above still triggers thoughts and desires of excessive drinking, then it's likely that beginning to drink again will eventually lead you back to where you started. And sometimes they say, you know, when you start again, you don't start up like after you've stopped for 6 months or whatever. You start up at the level where you used to drink. So I would say no, don't toy with this, don't play with this, get yourself completely clean. And most people won't want to go anywhere near it just because of the memories. Just because of the memories. Okay? Testing the water. In AA, people feel that if they slip and have a drink, they're lost entirely back to day one. This attitude in itself can sometimes be enough to turn a slip into a full relapse, since it can lead to the attitude that you've had one drink, you're off the wagon, and you may as well just keep drinking, okay? Now, at some point, you might decide that you're going to drink again, but rather than being deliberate and planned, it might be a spontaneous decision. You may find yourself at a party or have a lousy day and decide to drink. That's okay and more common than you think. However, what you do after this can change everything, okay? In part, this is related to an abstinence-only approach. There tends to be a collective belief around the topic that can be highly destructive. AA has popularized the concept of counting days since your last drink as a way of celebrating your success. Although we love the idea of celebrating your successes, this approach sometimes has an unintended side effect. It feeds into the all or nothing attitude that many problem drinkers have, and when you have one drink, you experience a major letdown. Instead of chalking it up to valuable feedback, you feel like you've lost all your previous days or years. And if you attend AA, sorry about that. And if you attend AA, okay, after you've relapsed, they call that starting to drink, okay, all or nothing in feedback, I'm sorry. And if you attend AA, this letdown can be more pronounced. For example, AA meetings include a question such as, is there anyone present in the AA who has his first 30 days of sobriety? If you have said yes to this question after all the work and progress you made, then you can end up feeling like a failure, okay? And this can lead you to an attitude of, oh, well, am I starting over? So I might as well go party for a few days. Some of our graduates have over a year for sobriety and then decided to test drinking again, sometimes just 2 or 3 drinks. After this experience, they realized drinking wasn't a positive influence and returned to abstinence. So if they were followed, if they were to follow the standard AA guide, they would have started over counting the days, but we believe this isn't a fair representation of the changes that you've made in your life. I kind of go with this as a hypnotherapist. It is critical you don't judge yourself when you test the waters or you do slip up and have a drink or a drug. If the 30 days has treated their return to drinking as a complete failure, requiring them to start over, who knows when you would ever become sober again. Sometimes the information you get from going back out there can be invaluable. We are not saying that you should drink again. Just get that information, but it is for you to decide, and then you make sure that you can learn from the experience. So we like to treat it like that. Thriving in sobriety through abstinence. For most of you, abstinence is going to be the path that best serves. You're not alone. Conservative estimates show that at least 23 million people are living in recovery from alcohol or drug abuse. That's a lot of people. And this doesn't include all the teetotalers who just chose not to drink or use drugs in the first place. Sometimes the real magic of thriving in sobriety comes when you actually decide you're done with drinking for good. And when you know the door will never be opened again, you start to really understand your relationship to alcohol. The back and forth can be emotionally exhausting and can take you away from doing the work you need to do. Okay? So, however, when you decide you are never going back, the real you shows up. You cannot hide behind the hope that you will drink again, which frees you to deal with the emotions and fears that often accompany the plan to never drink again. And once you have overcome this, you're truly free to thrive in sobriety. So thriving in sobriety through cutting back. In 95, Audrey Kishline knew her drinking was a problem, and even though she had practiced abstinence at times, her goal was to cut back. After doing a lot of research, not only did she believe she could do this, she founded Moderation Management, a group dedicated to helping others learn how to manage their drinking. Okay? Eventually, she drove while intoxicated and took the lives of Danny Davis and her 12-year-old daughter. So I guess she failed to apply the principles to her own life. Yes, you can successfully cut back. Wow, after that. You're drinking for the rest of your life. But if this is your goal, we have some recommendations so your story doesn't end up mirroring that of Audrey, who went to prison and continued drinking heavily throughout the rest of her life and committed suicide in 2014. First, you need to journal, specifically and honestly, about your experience of using. The nature of addiction is to trick you into thinking you are under control when you're not, which is why moderation doesn't work for so many people. okay? If you decide to drink again, then take an analytical approach. Write down your experience when you drink, how much you drink, and with whom. As long as you're honest, it will be clear whether you can successfully maintain cutting back. Second, never drink alone, no exceptions. It's not healthy. And ideally, don't drink at home either. This will just keep you at home. That's right. Third, pay attention to the quantity and alcohol content of which you drink, especially in relationship to your new tolerance. Remember, when you stop drinking for a while, you change your tolerance. If you decide to drink the same amount of alcohol you did in the past, it can be dangerous. 2 drinks today, after a period of abstinence, might make you feel even more buzzed. Fourth, avoid binge drinking. Okay, don't do shots or put yourself up with a group of friends who are mostly going to be drinking excessively. It isn't fun. You might even discover how dumb people are and how you were dumb when drinking excessively. It can easily trigger your excessive drinking. So just be careful all the way around. Deciding your approach, continue to use the solutions I've learned in the 30-day sobriety solution to improve my connection to the person I want to be, and I know I can be. I move closer to that person every day. This is Jack from Wyoming. So think about a serious past relationship that ended in a breakup, possibly after a lot of tough conversations and struggling back and forth. Maybe you even engaged or living together at the time, but you broke up. How often did you see each other? Was it easier if you didn't see the person at all, or at least for a while? You would probably agree that seeing someone after a breakup isn't ideal. Well, this is the process of cutting back or quitting drugs and alcohol. Okay? You don't really need to see him anymore. Okay? My boyfriend just passed away. I can't get out of this house fast enough. I gave a 2-week notice and they're letting me leave because I don't want any part of this place anymore where we shared everything together. The memories are too much. So that's just like when you stop drinking. Sometimes you just need a whole damn new environment, a whole damn new attitude. So I'm sorry I'm reverting back to myself. I guess it just became a good example. I thought you would like to know that, however, if you don't see the person again till years later, it's often much easier. Well, that's like cutting back or quitting, okay? You'll need a lot more than 30 days of abstinence, and we recommend a minimum of 6 months, okay? And most of our cutting back success stories came after a year or more of no drinking. The best approach is not to worry about it. If you know you're not ready today, then decide when you are and revisit the program when you're ready, because this is about 1,000% commitment every day in every way, okay? You commit yourself to this. So your first action step after reading today's solution is to make this decision. Are you going to move forward with abstinence, at least for the short term, and revisit the question later? Are you going to move forward with abstinence as your long-term approach? Are you going to see if cutting back is a long-term option for you? Making sure you follow our recommendations, okay? And we're almost finished with this day 30, and let's see if we have a 31. I think this is it, guys. Yeah, 30 days. It only goes to 30 days. So I'll follow this last 30 days up with probably some good meditations for you, some good trances that you can do for cravings and stuff like that, because I definitely want to keep on keeping on with you all. So the gift of giving back, this is the only perfection there is, the perfection of helping others. This is Andre Agassi. This is the only thing we can do that has lasting value or meaning. This is why we are here, to make each other feel safe. So one of the surefire ways to ensure your success in sobriety is to find a way to give back, especially to those who are sharing with the same struggles that you have overcome. So the National Community Service released a report indicating that volunteering provides individual health benefits in addition to social benefits. So you're going to want to spend your time. You can volunteer somewhere if you have extra hours. Okay? You can offer help to others with no exception for them to reciprocate. It's incredibly powerful and positive impact in your life. All human beings, including you, have a core need to connect with others. And a great way to connect is by leading with an unselfish hand. And Dan Millenham writes, find a form of service that calls to you, that suits your abilities, attitudes, qualities, and interests, that makes time fly, that draws forth your best and tells you you've arrived home and found yourself. I love babies. I'd like to volunteer with the babies. Your second action step for today is to decide how and where you want to give back. You can use the list from the Positive Addiction Solution on day 26. Giving back and being of service to others addresses another important need we have discussed, your serotonin deficiency in early sobriety. The power of intention, Wayne Dyer writes, research has shown that a simple act of kindness directed toward another improves the function of your immune system and stimulates the production of serotonin to both the recipient of the kindness and the person who extends it. Even more amazing is that the persons observing the act of kindness have similar beneficial results. Imagine this kindness extended, received, or observed beneficially impacts physical health and feelings of everyone involved. Remember to make a difference whether you want to or not. It just depends on whether you're going to make a positive or negative difference. Are you moving closer or further away from your next drink? It's easy to make things more complicated than you need to, when in fact the answer is right there. In the attraction solution on day 19, we introduced you to the question, am I moving closer or further from my next drink? We recommend that you ask yourself this question at least once a week. When you consciously pay attention to where you are, especially in regard to the direction you are headed, it becomes surprisingly easy to catch yourself before it's too late. You might want to post this question on your bathroom mirror so that you make sure you see it every day, especially when you're shaving. Am I getting closer or further from sobriety? You can also ask yourself variations of this question in relationship to your goals, relationships, or any other area. Am I moving closer to or further from having this relationship? Do you miss happy hour? My new drug is golf. It's a drug of choice. I think it also, if I go back to using, all of this will go away. I'd rather have a big trailer. Some of the most successful and happy people we know allocate an hour of day to themselves. Motivational speaker Tony Robbins refers to this as the hour of power, where you integrate some beneficial personal growth practice to help you gain clarity, appreciate the present moment, become physically fit and vibrant, and get mentally prepared to take on your greatest challenges. Okay? I just bought myself a bathing suit the other day. I said 3 years ago I wanted to swim, and I couldn't break away because of my boyfriend, and I had to always be here with him. And now that he has passed on, I went out and bought a beautiful bathing suit. And now I have to join a gym or go to a local pool. Okay? So what do you want to do? What do you want to do with your hour of power? It can be doing crossword puzzles, simple as making a healthy breakfast, reading a book. And your action step for today is to make a few minutes and design your happy hour. However, if it seems like a big time commitment, start small. You can even start with 5 minutes, 5 days a week, and then increase your time to 5 minutes every week. For example, the first week you might do a 5-minute meditation. The second week you might add 5 minutes of exercise. The third week you might an additional 5 minutes of exercise, and there's no right or way to get strong. No right or wrong way to get started. So I want to close this out with the defining characteristics of thriving people. One defining characteristic of successful people is that they never stop growing and learning. They are continuously looking for ways to improve themselves both personally and professionally. In many ways, the opposite of growth is stagnation and boredom. And when boredom lasts for too long, you're likely to seek out unhealthy ways to break free from it, such as drinking, using drugs, overeating, gambling, inappropriate sex, and high-level behavior, like driving too fast. Successful people are rarely bored. I remember a town that was so boring. Where was it? It was on the border. I think Nevada. It was such a town. Everybody was alcoholics. This guy told me in the town his ex-wife was an alcoholic. And everybody said, what is there to do here but drink? And I thought that was so funny, but I guess it was true. So Successful people rarely are bored because they're constantly developing themselves physically, emotionally, and spiritually by reading, exercising, playing sports, playing an instrument, spending time in nature, which is rarely boring, traveling, attending workshops, constantly working on the fulfillment of their meaningful, heartfelt dreams. Most importantly for you, in relation to the 30-day solution, we recommend to keep revisiting and working the solutions on a regular basis. That's where the consistency comes in. This doesn't mean that you have to engage with the same level of time and effort you have, but it does mean that you continue to grow as a part of your life moving forward. The great news is that there are countless, just countless ways to, my granddaughter keeps calling me, sorry. There's countless fun ways to continue to bring personal growth to your life. Here are some suggestions. Repeat the 30-day solution, sobriety solution. It's in your journal. Read memoirs of people in recovery. Those are great. Read self-help books about the lives of people you admire. Joan Rivers, well, did she struggle? Barbara Streisand, boy, did they come up hard. And Coco Chanel, I saw a diamond today. They told her she wasn't good enough. She said, I am Paris. Remain teachable and open. Make your car your collage. If you spend more than 10 minutes a day, use the time to listen to inspirational CDs, podcasts. Some of your favorite are listed today. And don't let 2 top sobriety killers creep into your life. Although we have mentioned many, there are 2 that regularly lead people to excessive using. Boredom and loneliness. Those are the 2 top sobriety killers. So don't stick around the house and lock yourself in too much. Keep yourself busy with this program and learning. Okay? There's activities list. Pick something new to do today. And we have some new information on how to join or start up in your own mastermind group on the companion website. Mastermind's great. I've done that before. It got a lot out of my life. So your action steps are decide on your plan. Write down what your strategy is for the next 30 days regarding using. Write down how you want to give back now in life. Where are your strengths and qualities and passions and interests? Design a new happy hour where you're doing meditation, yoga, visualizations, exercise, singing, playing instruments, painting, anything you want to do. It can start with 5 minutes a day, and you can add it to weekly, to where the time, you just get lost in the time where you used to be drinking. You're going to be somewhere creating fabulous art or just something really empowering. Review your before you and take your photo, keeping journaling. Review your before you and your before photo and keep journaling. Take a minute and acknowledge how far you've come since you started this program. It's human nature to focus on the gap between your ideal vision and your actual results and overlook what you have accomplished so far. So really, go look at your journal at day 1, at day 2. See if you notice anything different. If you followed through on this program, are your eyes clearer? You seem happier. You seem calmer. Now, as you finish the final sections for today, be sure to celebrate your successful completion because you did complete this. And I don't care if you relapsed a million times, you completed the program. Okay? So right now, take a moment, shut your eyes, take in a deep breath, and really acknowledge and appreciate yourself for all that you've accomplished over this course. As always, you can find the companion website on http://day30.solutions, and this is to your 30-day sobriety solution, where we list some of your favorite books, CDs, and training. In addition, we have included our favorite solutions, tools, and resources from Day 30 Sobriety Solution that you can use to easily continue moving forward. People, this is it. This is all there is. There's many, many other ways to climb this mountain of sobriety, but these ways in this book, I got it for you. It's the full program, and it really made me happy making these. And I love you, and I will continue making these programs for you. And I will talk to you soon. God bless you, and I will see you in your dreams. Day 30. Yahoo, you're finished with this program. But you just continue on them when you need little lift ups. I'm here. Keep using them. I love you, and I will see you in your dreams.